I don't know, someone mentioned about, kind of like, just clear tutorials. And I was thinking about that because people have created tutorials and I know those videos and whatnot, but it's all about them being easy to find. So, are all those under at least like tutorial tag? So someone could just type into the tutorial tag and find all that? Or, does it make sense to add like a tutorial um, link on like, the left side toolbar? So someone just click that and it takes you, and the only thing in there is just tutorials. Because having the information is great, but being able to easily find it is more important. Um, and then people can kind of go at their own pace because I agree with you with the overload of information since there's so many layers and that so like for instance I once saw a quote that I thought made a ton of sense and I think it can apply to teaching. So like it was talking about leadership and it said leadership is the ability to disappoint people in amounts that they can handle. And I thought that was like really, really enlightening because it's true. Like as a leader, you can't make everybody happy. People are going to be disappointed, but to keep, the entire project on the correct path, right? You're going to have to quote unquote disappoint people, because you're not going to be able to do every single thing that people want to do. And sometimes you got to buckle down and just get things done. So I was thinking about that in regards to teaching, right? I think teaching is the ability to provide people information in amounts that they can handle. Because if you inundate them and overload them with so much information, so many options, right? That goes back to the confused mind says no.
Right.
So, yeah, it's awesome that people respond and it's awesome that people give them 8,000 links, but that can also be overwhelming. But when you have a choose your own adventure, so like let's just say I see someone new and they're like, hey, how do I do X, Y, and Z? I can respond and be like, um, yeah, that's easy to do, and maybe directly answer that question, and or just be like, you can find that answer here and drop, go to the tutorial tag or just, look on the left toolbar and click tutorials. And then those tutorials, should have correct labels. And then they can say, oh, okay, I want to do XYZ. Here's the tutorial for it. I click on it, I watch it. And then after they watch that or read that, then it's up to them, right? If they see anything else that catches their eyes that they want to explore further, right? I think that's a cleaner way because you're giving them the choose your own adventure, so to speak, as opposed to just sending them 20 different links. And at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing, right? You're looking at a post with 10 links, right? Or you're looking at a web page with all these different links. But the the setting and the perspective is different, even though it's the same thing. It makes zero sense, but it's true. And that's just how the human mind works. So yeah, I think it's always just tweaking user experience.
Yep. It is about tweaking the user experience and listening to the users that are there already and trying to take that feedback and figure out, how to improve everything. And on the point of tutorials and there are going to be some tutorials on the way, both from the team and I hope from the community. So from you guys, I would love to see some tutorials get posted and be out there for the Dash people. So when they come in, they know how different things work. I think it'd be a good idea to really go back to the drawing board for pretty much all tutorials and give an update. I mean, there's so many things that are different now, and that's one of the things about tutorials and one thing that I think Taskmaster would appreciate, which is, have an owner mindset. So, as a team, we can continue to create tutorials, but things on the platform are always evolving and changing, and tutorials need to be updated pretty regularly. So, at the end of the day, I mean, the most efficient way for tutorials to get done on Inleo would be from you guys, from the community, because, obviously, you could have two team members, on the Inleo team making tutorials and updating them constantly, but that's, a full-time job in and of itself. It'd be much better to have our existing community of 2,000, monthly active users, making tutorials and giving different perspectives and, making the tutorials from different devices. Like, some of you guys are on Android, some are on iOS, some are on, Macs, some are on PCs, some are on iPads and tablets, and in different parts of the world and with different languages. I mean, like the amount of combinations and variants of users and tutorials and potential tutorials that can be created is just so large. It's way too much for a team to do. I think it's a community job.